Let's bring in our panel to debate the issue. We have David Carlucci, a former New York State senator and a Democratic strategist, with us today. Alongside him, Tom Borelli, NewsMax contributor. Gentlemen, great to have you. I know this has been a big topic all week. But, David, I'll start with you. Senator Tom Cotton going on the record saying, frankly, quote, NATO countries that don't spend enough on defense, like Germany, are already encouraging Russian aggression. President Biden simply ringing the warning bell. What's wrong with that? I mean, maybe you don't like his delivery, but he got stuff done, David. People paid.
Yeah, I think that's an important part, but it's at what cost, right? Yes, it's important to be a steward of the taxpayer dollar, and I commend Trump for that initiative. However, this alliance that we have, 75 years, preventing wars, and now you have someone making really reckless remarks that put our alliance in jeopardy. And it's very important, even though former President Donald Trump is not the commander-in-chief right now, being the front runner in the GOP and a former president, his words carry weight.
Sure.
And we have to be careful to not just throw them around recklessly. And the interpretation of this is that, hey, the U.S. might not have your back.
Well,
and that's a real
Secretary
problem.
Stoltenberg's words matter, too. And he didn't have any problem with Trump last week before the rally. And he said, in fact, he thinks he was great with NATO. So those are other words here.
We just heard the Joint
context.
The chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff just made a comment saying that Trump's comments put the United States at risk, and that people are watching what the U.S. says.
Well, I'm going to let Tom get in. I also think the comments...
David, that's
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
Let's just look at the facts. Look,
please.
Let's look at the facts. Let's rewind the tape. Remember when former President Trump slammed Germany for buying natural gas from Russia for the Nord Stream 2 pipeline? And he actually had sanctions because he knew energy is so important to Russia. He didn't want Europe to be dependent on Russia. And what did that genius Joe Biden do? As soon as he walked into office, he removed those sanctions. And now we don't have a Nord Stream 2 pipeline because Biden is so weak, Russia invaded Ukraine. Let's just look at the facts. Also, Trump is a businessman. He knows how to negotiate. Right now, I think only 7 of 30 NATO countries meet that 2% requirement of their spending on GDP on defense. Only 7 out of 30. That's a losing record. We need a strong man in the White House, someone to stand up to Putin, someone to stand up to Hamas, and that's Trump. It's short of.
But this is not standing up to Putin. I would agree with you that, yes, we need to push NATO allies to contribute more. However, but at what stage? We don't blow the whole thing up.
Tell me what Putin did under Trump. Tell me what Putin did under Trump.
Well, there was a lot going on. But the issue here is this makes us weak. This makes us weak against Putin. It says, Putin, do what you want.
Look at the border.
No.
Look at Ukraine.
This puts
Look
us
at
in a
Hamas.
weak position.
Well,
this is what Donald Trump did. We're talking about the comments that Trump just made.
And we should have you guys back to debate again because there were no wars under Donald Trump. So for all this talk of a dictator and this and that, we do also make about the comments of minor incursions, something Joe Biden said before Putin went in again to Ukraine. I'm going to have you guys back. Really fantastic to hear you go back and forth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David and Tom.
Thank you, Aka.